everyone! Welcome to our podcast for English learners. I'm Elena.
And I'm Jack. Today, we are talking about something very useful, email writing techniques. Emails are a big part of our daily life, whether for work, study, or personal communication.
That's right. Writing a good email helps you communicate clearly and professionally. But don't worry, you don't need perfect English to write a great email. You just need to know some key rules.
Before we start, let's go over some important words that will help us in this conversation.
The first word is subject. The subject is the title of your email. It tells the reader what your email is about. For example, if you are writing to ask about a job, your subject could be job inquiry, marketing assistant position.
The next word is salutation. A salutation is how you start your email. It's like saying hello. A formal salutation can be Dear Mr. Smith, and an informal one can be Hi Alex.
Another important word is body. The body is the main part of the email, where you write your message. It should be clear and to the point.
Now, let's talk about closing. This is how you end your email. A formal closing can be best regards or sincerely. In a casual email, you might say thanks or take care.
Next, we have signature. A signature is your name and sometimes your contact details at the end of an email. In professional emails, people often include their job title and phone number.
And don't forget attachment. An attachment is a file you send with your email, like a document or a photo. If you're sending a resume, you might write, I have attached my resume for your review.
Good. Let's also mention reply and forward. Reply means answering an email someone sent you. Forward means sending an email you received to another person.
Great! Now that we know these words, let's talk about writing a good email. The first thing to remember is the subject line. A clear subject helps the reader understand your email quickly.
Yes, a bad subject line might be hello because it's too general. A better one would be request for meeting on Friday because it tells the reader what you need.
That's a great tip. Next, the salutation is important. If you know the person's name, use it. Dear Mr. Johnson sounds more polite than just hello, but if you don't know the name, you can write Dear Sir or Madam.
After the salutation, we move to the body of the email. A good email is short and clear. The first sentence should explain why you are writing.
For example, if you are applying for a job, you can write, I am writing to apply for the marketing assistant position at your company. This is direct and professional.
Exactly. Then, in the next sentences, you can give more details. But keep it short. Long emails are hard to read.
And don't forget to use polite language. Instead of writing, give me information about the job, it's better to say, could you please provide more details about the job?
That sounds much better. At the end of the email, we need a closing. For formal emails, you can write looking forward to your response or I appreciate your time. Then add a closing phrase like best regards and your signature.
That's a great structure. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes in emails. One mistake is forgetting to check for grammar or spelling errors.
Yes, always read your email before sending it. A small mistake can change the meaning. For example, I will be there on Monday should be I will be there on Monday.
Another mistake is using too many short forms. In a formal email, don't write you instead of you or thanks instead of thanks.
Also, be careful with tone. If you write in all capital letters, it looks like you are shouting. Instead of please reply now, just write please reply soon.
These are all great tips. Now, let's talk about attachments. If you are sending a file, always mention it in the email so the reader knows to check for it.
Yes, and always double-check before sending. If you forget to attach the file, you might have to send another email saying, sorry, I forgot to attach the document.
These are some key points to remember for writing a good email.
Yes, and speaking of checking before sending, another important thing is to read your email from the reader's perspective. Ask yourself, is my message clear? Will the person understand what I need?
That's a great habit. Also, keep in mind that different situations require different tones. A formal email to your boss should sound professional, but an email to a friend can be more relaxed.
Exactly. Let's compare two examples. Imagine you're asking your boss for a day off. A formal way to say it is, Dear Mr. Smith, I hope you are doing well. I would like to request a day off on Friday. Please let me know if that is possible.
And if you're writing to a friend, you can just say, "Hey Sarah, I won't be around on Friday. Let's catch up next week." The message is the same, but the tone is different.
Yes, and this is why it's important to know who you are writing to. If you're not sure, it's always better to be more formal.
That's true. Now, let's talk about email structure again. Some people write very long emails with too many details, but a good email should be short and easy to read.
Right, a good trick is to divide your email into 3 parts: the introduction, the main message, and the closing. This way, the reader can quickly understand what you're saying.
That's a great tip. Another thing to consider is the use of bullet points. If you have a list of things to say, using bullet points makes your email clearer.
Yes, for example, if you're asking a colleague about a project, you can write, "When is the deadline? Who is responsible for each part? What resources do we need?" This is much easier to read than a long paragraph.
That's very helpful. Also, don't forget to check your email tone before sending. Sometimes, short emails can sound rude even if you don't mean to be.
That's true. If you just write "send me the report," it sounds too direct. A better way is to say, "Could you please send me the report when you have time?" It sounds more polite.
Exactly. People are more likely to help you when you are polite.
Yes, being polite in emails is very important. It shows respect and makes communication smoother. Even small words like "please" and "thank you" can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And another thing to remember is the response time. If someone sends you an email, try to reply within a reasonable time, especially for work emails.
That's a great point. If you can't reply immediately, you can send a quick message like, "I received your email and will get back to you soon." This way, the sender knows you saw it.
Yes, that's a good habit. Now, let's talk about common email mistakes. One mistake people make is sending emails with too many unnecessary details.
Right, an email should be clear and to the point. Instead of writing a long story, focus on the main message.
Another mistake is forgetting to proofread. Always check for grammar and spelling mistakes before sending your email.
That's true. There are many online tools that can help with this. But even if you use a tool, it's always good to read your email yourself to make sure it makes sense.
Yes, and one more thing, be careful with reply all. If you're replying to a group email, make sure your message is meant for everyone, not just one person.
That's a great tip. Sometimes people accidentally send private messages to a whole team, which can be embarrassing.
Exactly. Checking before you click send can save you from a lot of trouble.
Yes, taking a moment to check before sending can help you avoid mistakes. Another important thing to think about is attachments. If you mention a file in your email, make sure you actually attach it before sending.
That's a really common mistake. Many people write, "Please find the attached file," but then forget to attach it.
A good habit is to attach the file first before writing your email. That way, you won't forget.
That's a smart tip. Also, when sending attachments, make sure the file name is clear. Instead of Document 1 PDF, use something like Project Report January PDF.
Yes, a clear file name helps the reader understand what the file is about before even opening it. And if the file is too big, it's better to use a cloud service like Google Drive or Dropbox instead of attaching it directly.
That's right. Some email services have size limits, so large files might not go through. Sending a link instead of an attachment is often a better option.
Another important thing is using the right email closing. Just like the greeting at the beginning, the way you end your email depends on who you are writing to.
Yes! For formal emails, you can use endings like "best regards," "sincerely," or "kind regards."
And for informal emails, something like "take care," "best," or "just thanks" works well.
Exactly! The closing is the last thing the reader sees, so it should match the tone of your email.
Yes, a good closing makes a strong final impression. And before we finish, let's quickly talk about email signatures. A signature is a small section at the end of your email that includes your name, job title, and contact information.
That's a great point. A professional email signature can save time and make your emails look more organized. Instead of typing your name and contact details every time, your signature adds them automatically.
Exactly. Even in casual emails, you can use a simple signature with just your name to make your message look more polished.
So, let's summarize everything we talked about today. Writing a good email is not just about the words you use, it's about structure, clarity, tone, and professionalism.
Right. We talked about how emails should have a clear subject line, a polite greeting, and a short but clear message.
We also discussed how important it is to proofread, check attachments, and be polite in your wording. A small change in tone, like adding please and thank you, can make a big difference.
Yes, and don't forget to use the right email closing and, if needed, an email signature to make your message look professional.
If you practice these simple techniques, your emails will be more effective, professional, and easy to understand.
We hope you found this conversation useful. If you did, don't forget to like this podcast, leave a comment, and share it with your friends and family.
Yes! And if you want to improve your English even more, make sure to follow our channel for more fun and useful episodes.
Thank you so much for listening. Keep practicing, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.